Okay, guys, what was yesterday we spoke about. Yesterday we were discussing about syllabus, isn't it? Yesterday we were discussing about syllabus. So today we are into our third session. I'll talk a little bit about SQL, and then I'll install Power BI for you guys, okay? Because we are going to start up Power BI from this upcoming Monday. I'll install Power BI for you guys, okay? Okay. Now let's get started. Yesterday, I think let me open Excel sheet. Yesterday we were talking about commands, right? So we will talking today in depth. We will talk about our SQL commands, and then how it will be working in backend. That thing we will be working, like the structure of it. We will be talking about it. Okay. First, let's talk about commands. SQL commands. Okay. So there are five types of commands I was speaking about yesterday. So the first one here we have is DDL commands. The full form of this is data manipulation manipulation language. The full form of this is data manipulation language. Why do we use this? Is we use this for writing, sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm completely sorry. This is data definition language. So why do we use this is for discussing about the structure of the table. Structure of the table. Why do we use this? Structure of the table. Okay. We use this for structure of the table. So let me explain you. Now this is a table. This DDML commands talk about structure like, the columns, how many columns, right? This is a columns. How many columns are there? And maybe rows like this. Rows. Okay. The structure of it. Now, for example, if you're adding one more column, it means you're doing some changes to the structure, the entire structure, like let it be header, columns, rows. If you're adding one more row, you're trying to change the structure. So this DDL commands will only talk about the outline, the structure of the table. So under this, we have a commands here is we basically have few commands. The first command we have here is create, alter, drop, truncate, and rename. Okay, so these are five commands which will only talk about the structure. Means it will not do anything inside the table. It will not do anything inside the table, but it will only talk about the structure. One second. For example, create means creation of table. Alter means, as I said, you wanted to insert one more column like this. Okay. It will alter. Or else you wanted to delete one column like this. It will delete. Okay. It will talk about structure. Drop means you wanted to drop in one entire table, like entire structure. Even truncate will drop entire structure. Rename means rename the table name. So this DDL commands will be talking about the structure of the table. And if someone asks you an interview, like, how can we answer this interview question? Sometimes it is difficult for us to remember five commands. For that, we will be using Dr. Cat. What we will be using Dr. Cat. Someone will ask you what is DDL commands. Immediately we can't get right. So in mind you should just think, okay, Dr. Cat. Dr. Cat means D is drop, R is rename, C is create, A is alter, T is truncate. This is something you have to tell to your mind. In interview you can speak out. Because if you get first letters, it's easy to explore the other thing. So what does DDL commands will be doing? DDL commands will be talking about the structure of the table. Okay. And second thing here we have is DML commands. DML commands. The full form of DML commands is data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. Means this thing, what does it will do? It will write inside the table. It is useful for writing the data inside the table. It means, for example, just understand this table is created with student number, okay, name, age, marks, gender. So this is a structure. Now you're writing inside this. For example, you're writing student number is 1, his name is Ramu, and his age is 26. Okay, his marks is somewhere around 70 marks. Okay, 70 marks. He is male. Like that, you're writing inside the table. You're writing data inside the table is known as DML commands. That is known as data manipulation language. So inside this, what are the commands you will be having here is, we are having only three commands. Three commands name is insert, delete, and update. What does this commands will be doing, guys? It will be writing inside the data. Insert means what? If you wanted to insert a fresh record, like insert into table, maybe his name. What is his name? Ramu. What is the age? 26. How much he scored? 45, 70, whatever it is. So, writing something inside a fresh thing is known as insert. Delete means, for example, you don't wanted to use second person. Second student is not anymore a student of our sessions. You wanted to remove that particular value, then we will use a delete. We'll say delete from this table, delete where the student number equal to 2. That is how we will be deleting. Update means what? You wanted to change. For example, by default, Ramu age has been updated to 26 by some mistake. But later we realized his age is 27. Then you will go and update from 26 to 27. So that's how you perform any manipulations inside the table, the data values, that is known as your DML commands. Am I clear? Any doubts? Akanksha, Ramu, Richa, Rushi, and someone like named as Poco F1. Cleared? Clear? Any doubts, guys? All clear, no doubts. Good. Okay. Now, next you have a third command here is DQL command. DQL command. What does this DQL command means? Data query language. This is useful only for your reading purpose. This is useful only for your reading purpose. Means you cannot write inside it. You cannot touch the structure, but you can go and read it. For example, you wanted to run all the queries, like see all entire table, then you'll write a query called select the most famous one, select star from, maybe the table name is students. So this select star from students will display all the output. This select star from students will display all the output. So what is this select is useful for? This select, we have only one command inside this. This is useful for printing the statement or to read the data. What it is useful? It is useful for reading the data. Select star from this means it is useful for reading the data. That is known as your DQL commands. Okay. Next comes your um, DCL commands. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me write I'll make some space and I'll write here or else. Okay. Here I'll insert one more table and I'll write here. I'll just keep it this side. Okay, and I'll write here. The next we have here is the name of it is DCL commands. So the DCL commands full form we have here is data control language. Data control language. What does this mean, data control language? The full form of this data control language is nothing but, the full form of it is nothing but, means why do we use it for permissions? This is for permissions we will be using. Inside this, we have two commands. One is your grant and another one you have here is revoke. Grant and your revoke. Grant and your revoke. Now I'll explain you what does this permissions means. Just imagine there is one company. In this particular company, there are two different departments. So one department here is HR department. One department here is HR department and another department here is IT department, two department. So there is one person who is already working for this HR department. There is one person who is already working for this HR department. Okay. Now, this person who is an existing person for this HR department has left the company. Has left the company. So once he left the company, what happened? Whatever access he's having to this database or to that department, they will go and remove all those access, and that is known as revoke. Revoke means removing permissions to that particular database is known as revoke, and that comes under your DCL commands. So administration, this is not our work. A DBA person work. A database administrator will go and work on this. He will check this employee has resigned and he's no more belongs to our particular company. He will resign it. And that where you will revoke the permissions. He will remove the permissions. Okay. And there is a one more person who is newly joining to this company. There is one more person who is newly joining to this company. And he is joining to a department called IT department. And this person who is newly joining will definitely don't have any access. So for a new joinee, they are going to grant access, means giving permission to the database is known as grant, and a database administrator will go and grant access to him and revoke access to this person. So that is nothing but permissions, and this DCL commands, we are not going to deal with this DCL commands. This DCL commands were dealt by a database administrator. Okay, I'm just telling it's a part of a commands I'm telling, and we are not going to deal with this because we are developers. But you should know, but tomorrow if someone comes and say I need access, then you should know, okay, this is an administrator work, you please contact the administrator. Okay, that is what you should, in a situation where you should able to tell them. Database administrator is supposed to give access, and our DCL commands will be dealing with granting and revoking the permissions. Hope I'm clear so far. Correct, everyone? Yes? Okay. Now, next we have, and the most important commands is TCL commands. Let me clear this now. Let's just make some space. Yes. Next we have here is um, TCL commands, transaction control language. And this TCL commands are mostly used for what sake? Okay. They are used for your means at this point understanding is difficult, but let me try to explain. With practicals, you will understand much more better. They are useful for save point and rollback. Definitely, I'll not able to explain you in depth about the save point and rollback, but I'll try my level best. So, first, let me write what are the commands inside into it, because a practical session will give you more good thing on this. One is your save point, uh, rollback, save point, and the other one is your commit. Okay, fine. I'll explain you this, at least commit and rollback. So before I explain this, so TCL commands deal with this. Before I explain about this TCL commands, let us talk in backend how the data looks like. Means the data flows. We will be let us talking about the data flows. Okay. Now let me take some space here. I think this much space is good enough now. So here, let's understand, or else I'll scroll and I'll take a plain fresh page. Okay. Now let me make you understand. I'm not talking about ECL, I'm just talking about how the data will flow. How are we are going to deal with this, everything. So first thing, let's understand some basic question I wanted to ask you guys. Now tell me, we we save something in our local laptop systems, right? Where does we save data? It gets saved into which place? Hard drive. Do you guys agree? Hard drive. Okay. Do you guys agree? We know what is hard drive or not? Okay. Now, one thing I wanted to explain you one more time. In laptop, does hard drive will understand hard disk or hard drive will understand whatever is our requirement? Does it understand? It will not understand our language. It will definitely not understand our language. There is some mediator in between who is going to send our information, whatever we type, it will convert into a machine language and it will be sending it to hard drive. And whatever we want, it will fetch from hard drive and it will give information to us. There is one mediator in our system. What it is known as? What is that mediator is known as? Yes, what is that mediator is known as? Any one person? Debugger? No. The mediator between hard drive and us. I'm not talking about SQL, I'm talking about general computer language. Akanksha, Ramu, Richa, Rushi. Okay. Do we know what is OS, operating system? Do we know? Ha, good. Now you guys will understand. So does it act like a mediator between hard drive and us? Correct? Yes or no? So, whenever we send any information I'm coming back to SQL. Whenever we send some information to this hard drive, it will not understand our direct language. There would be some mediator here. In normal systems, we call it as a OS, operating systems. But in SQL, we call it as a RDBMS. What is the full form of this RDBMS? Relational Database Management System. Before it was only DBMS, but later on it has been replaced by RDBMS. This RDBMS will act like a mediator. I'll type this, okay? This RDBMS will act like a mediator between between us and hard disk. Between us and hard disk. Okay. Now you can ask, ma'am, then what is this? This is nothing but this is a client software where we go and write SQL. Okay, SQL queries. You can call this as like let me write. You can call this as SQL workbench because we are going to install it. We can also call it as SQL command line. So using this SQL command line, using this SQL command line and workbench, using this SQL command line and workbench, we are going to write some SQL queries inside this. And those queries, okay, what we are going to write here, we are going to write SQL queries. Maybe how does it look like? So maybe for example, you wanted to insert some record. You'll say insert into students and you'll write values, insert into students values. You'll write student name is 1 and his ID is 1, Raj, and his age is 26. Something you have written like this record. You have inserted a record like this. You have inserted this record to where you have inserted this record to workbench, and it will go and save into a hard drive. And to get into here, there is a mediator RDBMS which will take it here. And whenever you want your output, to get output, what you will write? You'll write select statement. Select star from students. This select statement will help to read the output. So to get output, it will come this hard disk to this RDBMS, and from here it will display the output over the screen. Whatever the output, it will display over the screen, and you are going to read this output. You are going to read this output. Okay, and one last thing, these two things putting together is known as database. I'll clearly explain you what is database in future. Okay, so one more time I'll say, whenever you insert some record, you're writing this query, SQL language. You're writing SQL language into this workbench. Whenever you write into this, it will go and save into hard drive with the help of RDBMS. And whenever you wanted to fetch output print statement over this, then you'll write this query and it will come from hard drive to RDBMS, and that output will be visible on this. Clear? This is the entire architecture what SQL will follow in backend. Am I clear? Please guys ask any doubts. Akanksha. Can I get S from everyone? Richa is good. What about Akanksha? Uh, someone named Poco F1. I don't know your name. If you can give your name, that's good. Ramu, Rishi. Clear? You're clear, Rishi? Good. Ramu is also clear. So this is the entire architecture of what SQL will follow. Now, where the TCL commands will come. So the topic is main TCL commands. Motion. Hi, Motion. You're clear. I can see you joined today only session. Please go to the previous recordings. Okay. Are you clear with today's session, Mosin? Okay, so now we are discussing about DCL commands. When does a DCL commands will exist? See, insert into means you are writing DML commands here. Select means you're reading. DQL commands is here. Creating structure is DDL. And another one, DCL, data control language, will not deal. Now, when does this TCL will come? So, whenever you enter some record, there would be some buffer account. There would be some buffer account will be created here. Okay. So, what does this buffer account mean? Buffer account is nothing but it is like second time choice you're giving to the system whether to save it or not. Now, just imagine you have entered this record, insert into student something. This record you entered into workbench. This record came here. RDBMS, instead of sending it to hard drive, it has sent it to buffer account. Buffer account. This record, the whatever the record is here, this record instead of getting into hard drive, it came and it settled into this buffer account. And you do a second time recheck if this is perfect, you will go and save it permanently, and saving it is known as when you save it permanently, means you check and second time and says this is valid, then you'll say commit, and you see it is not valid anymore, then you will go and say rollback. What you'll say, you'll go and say rollback. Rollback means you're permanently deleting this record from here. Commit means you're permanently saving to a hard disk. So this is a second choice. The value whichever is getting into a buffer account, you see it is valid, you commit and it is getting permanently saved. If not, you say rollback and it will come out of this database or whatever it is. Okay? Am I clear? Everyone understood what is TCL commands? And save point is last one. I will explain you at the time of practicals. Any doubts? No. So that's about one demo session on SQL. Now from tomorrow we are going to get into Power BI practicals. So I have five members only today. Unfortunately, from yesterday the students might didn't join or they might join tomorrow. So guys, share your screen. I'll help you in the installation of Power BI desktop. We also read about Power BI components yesterday. Let's go with installation. Okay. Akanksha, you wanted to share your screen first? Share it. I'll help you out in installation. Yes, you have already installed it. Okay, anyone would like to share the screen? Rushi, Ramu, Mohsin. I would like to install Power BI desktop in your systems. Take time and let me know. Okay, do you like to log in from laptop also? That's okay, Ramu. I'll be waiting. Others, meanwhile, Richa, Mohsin. Okay, guys, then as no one is sharing, so I'm not installing Power BI today. So tomorrow log in from laptop so that I will be installing Power BI desktop in your systems. So actually, if you log in from laptop, then only it will be easy for us to do some practicals, right? So fine, let me get started with Power BI practicals from today itself. You watch and you can do it later on offline. And if someone is already having installed, I'll give you time. You can do it. Okay. So let me give you guys access as of now. Let me share one data set with you. We'll perform one split data today. Just a moment. Everyone, please go and download that split data. That is our first practicals we are going to do today. So we are getting into directly practicals. Walkthrough I will be taking later on in the middle of the session because first day walkthrough you'll not understand anything. Okay. So let me share screen back. Everyone please download it. And we are going to use this data. Okay. You can see 8 tabs under this Excel. So all these are different kinds of data sets. It has different sheets wherein you can work on it using split command. Using split command, we will be going and uh, dividing this data and doing the data transformation. Okay, so let me open my Power BI desktop. Like this, the Power BI desktop will be. Just double click, it will get open. Click on blank report. Okay, you can see this is how it will look like. So basically, um, walkthrough I will be taking tomorrow. Maybe many people will come. So today I'll just talk about get data, how you can get this data from your CSV file or Excel file. So when I go to this get data, you can see your Excel workbook, Power BI semantic models, data flows, data verse, SQL server, all these things. As of now, I have data set in my Excel workbook. I'll click on this Excel workbook and I know my data is in my split function. I know my data is uh, um, in my Power Query folder. It's a split function I'm going to do. So let me scroll down. You guys please download and keep it ready so that you guys can also do it. So from Power Query tab, I'm taking the split data. Let me open. Okay. Now I wanted to tell you one thing, guys. There are two things you have to keep it in your mind. Just a moment. This is Power BI desktop. Initially, we are not going to work on this. Initially, as I said yesterday in demo session, we are going to work on Power Query. It's a place where we will be doing the data cleaning. Okay, so once you select tables, you select tables from 1 to 8. Don't select data, select 8. See, if you select data, this is how it will be showing. Okay, don't select data, you select only tables from 1 to 18, 8, because we have 8 sheets. And when you say load, please listen carefully. When you say load, it will get loaded into Power BI desktop. But we are not doing any visualization or anything as such now, solving business problems. But we are cleaning the data. That is our first step. First step is to get data and clean data. So I'm doing transform data here. Okay. In transform data, you can see from table 1 to table 8. Okay. Now, as soon as I say transform data, you guys can see Power Query Editor. Okay. So far it is understanding, or am I too fast? Akanksha, Mohsin, Ramu, Richa, Rushi. Understanding? Little, Ramu said. Others are said. Ramu, let me know if you're not understanding anywhere. You can ask me to stop and I'll redo it for you. Something you want me to repeat, Ramu? Something you want me to repeat? Which one from the beginning? Okay,
Yes,
I'll do it.
ma'am.
I'll do it
Yes,
from
ma'am.
the beginning for you. Please focus, okay? I'm just closing this. Not now, I'm saying. So this is how you have your data, right? This is how you have your data. I'm discarding this and as soon as I open Power BI desktop, this is what I get. And from here, I'm saying get data, getting into Excel workbook. Okay, second step, selecting the split data, which I have already shared with you guys. And I said open. Then I selected from 1 to 8. Okay. Then I said transform data. Okay. Now you're clear, Ramu? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So our first thing is to divide this data into first name, second name, middle name, last name, whatever it is. Here in Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, two spaces are there, so three names will come. VVS Lakshman, more spaces and more names will come. So now we are getting into cleaning the data, a little bit cleaning the data. So first thing you have to focus is your first letter should be capital and remaining letters should be small. You do a right click and say transform, transform and say capitalize each word. Transform, capitalize each word. Then do a right click. First I have transformed it. Okay. Then I wanted to split. Say split column. You have multiple things. Let's go with the first one. By delimiter. So here I'll say each occurrence of the delimiter means in each space it has to divide the names and just click OK. See, very easily with a right click I was able to split my data. Now, wherever there is null values, select like this, control and select. Wherever there is null values, null doesn't look good for a output. So what do a right click and say replace values, replace your null with hyphen and click OK. See how beautifully you were able to split data. Here also there is a null value. So go and say replace value null with hyphen. Got it, everyone? Can you guys see whatever steps I'm doing? You can see the applied steps are noting down. First, the data was like this. Okay, first the data was like this. Later on, I said capitalize. When I capitalized, it came in a proper case. Later on, I said, can you split by column? This is how it came. Then because there were null values, then I said replace values. It became hyphen. And there was null in my second column also. I again said replace values. Even in my second column, the null value got replaced. Okay, just go and rename this. Query 1. Okay, now guys, go and do this. I'll give you some time, and this is how in real time also I'll be giving you time. Do this some 2 to 3 minutes and confirm. Whosoever is already having Power BI desktop, please do it. I didn't explain the rename. I explained the replace values, right? Richa, I explained the replace values, correct? Rename is different. If I go and double click here, I can rename this as like this. First name, middle name, last name. But I explained you replace. I went like this. I said replace values. I have given here null and I said hyphen to replace. Got it, Richa? Okay. Guys, once done, let me know so that I'll continue further. Guys, done. Everyone, continue. Okay. So we have table 2, also table 3. Everything is to split. So because we have 2 to 3 minutes time, let me go with some easiest one. Okay, this one I'll go table 5. There is no space. What is a delimiter? Delimiter means either space, comma, hyphen, pull stop, some tab, something should be there. But there is no space. But I'm supposed to divide it. Maybe Sachin, Ramesh Tendulkar, or Mahendra Singh Dhoni is so much familiar. We know Sachin has starting five letters and Ramesh, something like that. But here, we don't know Sam Karan. We don't know what is the first name and what is the second name because few names are not very much familiar. Let it be my name also. Sometimes you don't know what is the first name and last name. But if you observe the data, so data analyst has to observe the data. If you observe the data, what you have, David Warner. In between David and Warner, W is capital. Means your second name is starting with a proper case with capital. Can you see? Chris Gale Smith. C is capital, G is capital, S is capital. Chris Morris, C is capital, M is capital. Just because of this capital letters, what you can do a right click and say split column by. Tell me guys, which one is worth to take here? In this case, which one should I go? Read it out. Which one is the best? Choose. Anyone? Richa, Rushi, Akanksha, Mohsin, Ramu. Answer is in front of you. Can we go with lower to uppercase? That's all. Can you see? David Warner, Chris Gale Smith, Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. That's it. Go replace values null with hyphen, click OK. And you wanted to rename like this. First name, middle name, last name. Done. Understood everyone? Everyone understood? Can you guys quickly do this? And the time is up. And if you have any doubts for the day, please go ahead and ask. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Please ask if you have any doubts. And do it and confirm. Ask your doubts. We'll wind up the session for the day. Tomorrow, same timings will continue. And from Monday, the link will change. Guys, done everyone. Akanksha, Mohsin, Richa, Rushi, done. Okay, any doubts for the day, guys? Do you wanted to ask any doubts? If no doubts, we can wind up the session. No doubts from Rushi. Others, Akanksha, Richa, Mohsin, no doubts. Any doubts? Fine. Then we'll wind up the session for the day. Tomorrow we'll connect same timings and then we'll continue further from Monday. Okay. Bye everyone. Take care. Thank you. What are the timings? Timings is 10:30 to 11:30. Actual timing classes, Samu. I said right. Actual timing classes is 10:30 to 11:30, but tomorrow it is 12 o'clock. Yeah. Thank you, Mohsin. Thank you, Richa. Thank you, everyone. Bye, guys. Ravi.